Hello everyone. We're gonna do a dessert today. So, it's a two-parter. For me, when I make dessert, it can seem so daunting because there's usually so many steps. And so I like to do what I can on a Saturday, and then I'll just finish it up on a Sunday, and then it doesn't seem so bad. So I have here, you know what, I'm gonna do five Honey Crisp apples. They're already cleaned. And what I'm gonna do is peel them, core them, and cut them. So I'll do one and show you. How I like to cut my apples for the pie. This is when it's convenient to get one of those little turning peelers, you know, you put the apple on it and you just turn the little handle and it peels it for you. Those are nice. I had something called a rotato back in the day. It was for potatoes, did the same thing. It worked so good on apples too. I don't know if they still make those or not. All right, so it's peeled. Get my core right in there. Ooh, they're juicy. Compost. A little bit of peel on the top, so we'll go ahead and remove that. Just like that. Check the bottom. Okay. So then, take my knife and cut it in half. And then I'll cut it in like 4 slices each half. These are about, I don't know, you can see. What would you call that? 3/4 of an inch? Yeah, so I get 8 slices total there. And before I go any further, I'm actually gonna take some lemon juice, do a tablespoon, put it right in there. I don't want these to turn brown and yucky. So that. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of the apples the same way, and then we'll come on and get back together again. Okay, we are back. I'm gonna lower my light to see if that helps. It's so hard to see. I need a lighting department. Here's our apples. Each time I threw in another apple, I just kind of mixed it up again just to coat it with that lemon juice I put in earlier. So now to this, we're gonna add some fixins. 1/4 cup granulated sugar. And 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. And let's see, what else? We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of flour. And we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of pie spice. I have apple pie spice. If you don't have it, or you can't find it, it's just cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. You can find recipes online. I don't know what the exact amount is for each one. Okay, so I'll do a tablespoon of that. And we're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Make sure I have the right one here. Oh, it smells good. That spice. So a teaspoon of that. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we are gonna mix that up. Make sure all those slices get nice and coated. then what we're gonna end up doing to this is covering it, and this is gonna go in the fridge at least 4 hours. But for me, I'll do it overnight because I will just finish it tomorrow. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the crust. So here I have 1 1/4 cup of flour, and to that we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, so let me get stir, there we go. Give that a quick stir. Now to this we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of butter. I cut them, you know, on the lines where it's 1, you know, by each tablespoon, and then I just cut those in half. So I'm gonna put that in here, make sure it's cold. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do, using my fingers, we're gonna kind of toss this butter in, and we're gonna break it up. Mush it into the flour. And what we want is for the butter to become the size of a pea. So really just mix it in with that flour. This is what's gonna give the crust of this pie that flaky, buttery deliciousness. All right, we are getting there. And then I have a 1/4 cup of ice cold water. What I did was I poured it, I measured it, poured it into that little cup, and when I was prepping the apples, I just put it in the freezer. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. So, let me go ahead and just wash my hands. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just pour that water right on top and give that a stir. So you'll notice it kind of becomes like shaggy. That's good. That's what you want to see. Now let me just check it with my hands. When I squeeze it, it should, whoops, come together. Something's always jumping out of my bowl. And based on, I think maybe the weather today, it might need a smidge more water. So I'm actually gonna add, again, make sure it's really, really cold. I'm gonna do another tablespoon of water. Flour my board. That on here. All right, we're just gonna knead this for a minute. Whoop, he's running. All right, just for a minute. And then I'm gonna pat it into a nice disc, about 1 inch thick. And then what we're gonna do with this is wrap it up in some saran wrap. And then we're also gonna put this in the fridge, again, minimum 4 hours, but I'm gonna do this overnight. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, we are back, everyone, and we are gonna work on day 2 of our dessert. So it doesn't seem so daunting. And out of the refrigerator, I took out our dough that was chilling, and we are going to roll that out. So, flour your surface. Put this guy on here and flour your rolling pin as well, so nothing sticks. And I'll move that there. Okay. And what we want to do is just make a disc that is, I'm gonna get my pastry scraper. What we want to do is just make this into a 12-inch circle. So we will get this all pressed out. I'll be right back with you all. Okay, so we are all rolled out. I'm gonna grab my pie dish. And put her on in. Just like that. Okay, so we have that on there, and then we're just gonna kind of do a rustic crimp. This is not my specialty. If it's long on the edges, fold it underneath itself. And then what we're gonna do, once we're done crimping, we are going to put this in the refrigerator to keep that dough nice and chilled, okay? So let's go and do that. I'll clean out my area and then we'll work on the next step. Okay, so our pie crust is in the fridge and I took out our apples. And what you want is to see liquid on the bottom. That is gonna be the glue that holds it together. In a small saucepan, we're just going to strain the liquid from those apples right in that pot. Okay. And just make sure, kind of press them into that strainer. That looks pretty good. Then those apples are just gonna go right back in this bowl. Okay. And to this pan, we're gonna put on medium heat. And we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. Woo! Making a mess. Okay, so we're gonna get that to melt. And I'll be right back with you all. Okay, so we have like a nice little slow boil going. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna constantly stir this for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it's thickened, like a caramel. Okay, we are good. Let's see if I can show you. So if I like kind of do that, drips slowly. So what we're gonna do is take this like caramel sauce, put it right in this bowl with the apples, get all that goodness. Oh, it smells good. The smell of fall. We're gonna mix this up, toss to coat. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of flour. And that's just gonna be our thickening agent. Keep this all together. Okay. Perfect. So we'll set that aside. We are almost done with this. And then we're gonna grab a bowl. So here I have 2/3 of a cup of flour, and I'm going to add 1 cup of oats. These are quick oats. I'm going to add, before I forget, a smidgen of salt. And I have a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. I have a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. And let me grab a spoon, mise en place, Jen, and mix this all together. And this is gonna be our crisp topping. And then, final ingredient, right here, and this is 1/2 cup of melted butter. That is the secret ingredient. And I'll mix this together. Just trying to get it so I don't see any big clumps of white flour. Okay, I think that'll do it. So now all we have to do is just put this together. Not too bad. So let me go grab that pie crust. There is our pie crust. And we are gonna put our apple filling right in there. I'm just gonna give it another quick coat before I do so. Spread those apples out. Get all the good bits. Get that sauce. Okay. And then we're going to take our crumble. Just kind of spoon it over. Okay. Any larger clumps I'm just going to break up. There we are. Okay, so I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to put this in for about 40 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is take it out, cover it with foil, and put it back in for another 30-35 minutes. Once you see that that crust is set and those apples are nice and fork tender. So let's see how it comes out. Okay, the pie is ready to come out of the oven. Can't wait to see what it looks like. And I did forget to mention that when it's baking in the oven, it should be on the lower rack. Gosh, I hope it looks okay. All right, moment of truth. Oh, it's beautiful. Look how golden brown that is. That came out so nice. Ooh! Our rustic apple crisp pie. That's what we'll call it. Well, once that cools down all the way, we'll be able to cut into it, see what she looks like, and how it tastes. Thanks so much for watching.